If you would have told me 10 years ago that one day I would be talking to a video camera in my basement about things like how I personally shave my testicles, and this is what I was going to consider successful, I would have punched you in the face. Because 10 years ago, the only thing that was going to mean success for this guy was running a chain of super successful fitness centers. But I am an entrepreneur, and the one thing that I've learned over the years is that success doesn't always look like what you expect it will. 5-year plans haven't worked out for me, and so I stopped making them, but I have learned some incredibly valuable entrepreneurial and business lessons along the way. And so today, I thought I'd share 10 of them. Lesson number 1 is choose your business partners wisely. A bonus tip is do background checks on anybody you're thinking about getting into business with. You're thinking, oh, I don't need to do that. I've known John for years. He's a solid guy. Well, trust me when I say it pays to do your due diligence, even if you think, and I'm sure that John is a fantastic, stellar, stand-up dude, but think of your business partner as somebody that you're getting married to. Okay, it's like your work wife, because business agreements and contracts are just that. They're a contract. They are a legally binding agreement. And if things go south, you can be in a world of hurt. To be honest, marriages, like real ones, they're easier to get out of than some business relationships. Nothing steals the fun out of a new business like expensive or high overhead. True story, when I owned my fitness center, you know what my monthly expenses were? $40,000. That is a lot of memberships. That is a lot of personal training. That is a lot of supplements. Business owners and entrepreneurs eat last. Okay, you're paying everybody else before you. Before you see a dime, for me, $40,000 had to go out the door. So guess what? I was the person who made the least amount of money. The people cleaning my toilets were killing it compared to me. Lesson number 3 is don't be afraid of hard work. Now this is something where you're probably like, of course, right? It's gonna be hard. You don't understand until you've actually done it how difficult the work is going to be. At times it's going to be daunting. At times you're going to want to give up. Just know, before you start, before you embark, before you spend the money on starting something, it's going to be a bear. The mountain is steep, it's high, and you've got to climb it. This is your pride. Lesson number 4 is taking that pride and throwing it out the window, because you're going to need to do anything and everything it's going to take in order to be successful. True story. When I had my fitness centers, it got pretty bad towards the end. I expanded too fast. There were a bunch of internal issues. Remember I was saying choose your partners wisely? It got so bad financially for us that I was having to take money off of credit cards in order to pay my employees. And so in order to make ends meet, I had to take a second job on weekends working as a beer cart girl on a golf course, a private members only golf course. And there was a moment when there were lots of moments doing that, but it was winter. It was February, and in Atlanta it does get cold, especially at 6:30 in the morning on a Sunday. There was frost. It was about 23 degrees, and there was no heat in the cart. And so I'm sitting there waiting for golfers to come around. There's no shelter. I'm just in this cart shivering my butt off. And it was that critical moment in my life when I realized that, my God, I will do anything it takes in order to be successful. The walls, my empire that I had planned on building and creating was crumbling right before my eyes. And there I am sitting in a beer cart, a 2-year-old dude serving beer to drunk golfers. Swallow your pride. If you're going to do things, know that you're going to do it, and times could get tough. Lesson number 5, know when it's time to move on. And this is a really tough one. There's a saying called shoot the bleeding dog. Know when it's time to put it down. And a lot of times as an entrepreneur, you start a business and you want to hold on as long as you can. You're with white knuckles holding on. I don't want to let it. There comes a time in every failing business's life when you've got to know that, okay, it's time. Shoot it, put it down, and move on. The problem for me specifically was that, like we said, I never had plan B. I never had another option. When I do something, I am 130% all in. And so the realization that, okay, this isn't working and it's time to do something else was really difficult for me. And it will be for you if you face that similar situation. But trust me when I say, it is the absolute best thing you can do, because once you get that weight off your shoulders, it allows you and frees your mind to think of your next better opportunity. Leading me to lesson number 6, look for opportunity everywhere. Doesn't matter if you're not familiar, look for it everywhere. The thing that blows my mind, because here's the deal, I get approached by so many companies nowadays saying, hey, check out my product, check out my product. Do you know how many wallet companies are out there thinking that they've got the latest, greatest? Okay, if you have a passion for wallets, okay, then try and make it work. But the wallet market is totally saturated. So maybe it would be a wise decision, if you're looking to be an entrepreneur, to look for opportunity that isn't currently being met or fulfilled. With Alpha M, my image consulting business, I took a look at the market and I'm like, hey, there is really no resources out there for everyday regular guys to get solid basic advice. I'm not talking GQ, I'm talking from a regular guy. I happen to know more about shoes and manscaping than football, so it was the perfect fit. But, you just gotta look for opportunity where other people don't necessarily see it. Lesson number 7 is hire smart. Surround yourself with good people. I'm not talking just like good qualified, I'm talking good people. People that you want to be around, want to be associated with. People with good moral character and compasses. Case in point is my assistant Debbie. She has been with me literally from the darkest days back when I had my fitness center, and she's still with me today. The interesting thing about that is throughout the time, money has been tight. And so I couldn't always afford to pay her what she is worth and the value that she brings. And so being appreciative and treating people with dignity and respect and just telling them, hey, I really appreciate that you took a chance on me, pays off. Even if it's not financial, hopefully in the future financial will happen. But I'm telling you, it is one of the most valuable lessons that I personally have learned, and I couldn't do any of this without her. So Debbie, if you're watching, I know you are, thank you. Lesson number 8 is be honest and ethical in everything you do. It's business integrity. We talk about having character, a good solid moral compass. Well, for me, one of the lessons that I've learned through over the years is that it pays to do the right thing. Lesson number 9, I mentioned it earlier in the video. It is that success doesn't always look like what you expect it to or what you hope it will. And this is the story of my life. And I really truly feel like I finally found something that I'm passionate, that I'm good at, and that I love doing. And so looking back, I couldn't have gotten here without the other hardships. And so a testament to my personal fulfillment and personal success today is that I weathered the storm, because entrepreneurs and being an entrepreneur is definitely not easy. It's not the easiest road you'll be on, that is definitely for sure. It would be so there are times where I'm like, oh, I would love to go to an office, punch a clock, work for somebody, come home, not have to think about it. But at the end of the day, it's not me. It's not what I'm passionate about. It's not what I love. And all of the hard work through the many, many, many years has gotten me here, and I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. Kind of brings us to lesson number 10, which is do what you love. If you do what you love, it's not work. And the inspiration for this video actually was this tip number 10. This morning, I was at Starbucks and I was working. My general schedule is I get up early, I go to Starbucks, I work for a little bit, then I go to the gym, then I come home, then I make it. And one of the guys, the regulars, came in, he goes, God, what time do you get here? I said, nah, around 5:30. He said, well, what time do you shut it down at night? I said, around 9:30. And he goes, my God. He goes, do you like it? I go, I love it. It's not work. I get up in the morning and I'm so excited to get started, start writing, start emailing, start producing the content that I'm producing, that if I had more hours in the day, I'd still do this. And so it's really amazing. And I just thought that, I'd share sort of a little bit of my journey and some of the lessons that I've learned, because I know a lot of you out there like the idea of starting your own business or being an entrepreneur, and it's not easy. You need to develop a thick skin and a cast iron stomach, because you will lose a lot of sleep over the years. But if you're successful, and the only way that you're not successful is if you fail and you don't get back up. If you get knocked down, punched in the teeth, you fall down, get your ass up. It's only a failure if you don't do that, if you don't get up and you don't try again. Trust me, eventually you will figure it out. And I just want to thank you for helping me figure it out, because if it wasn't for you, each and every one of you, I'd just be some weird dude with a camera.